Awesome. This will just be a unlisted video on my YouTube channel so that if we talk about anything like tips and advice, it'll be a resource you guys could send to future affiliates or partners with you guys as well. But I just want to say I'm super grateful you guys are here. What like a crazy day, huh? Like, what do you think? Feel free to unmute if you want. Uh, that was a long day for me, probably for you guys as well. And I did my best to keep up. I was like, how am I supposed to tell people how to get this when I can't get in myself? But thankful for all of my personal development, mindset training that I just kept working along, sending invites, doing follow-ups, connecting new affiliates to the team, and we did the best we can. I know some of you guys haven't got your packages yet. But just have faith. One of the things I did it in a voice text, but one of the things I want to share with you is that I'm hearing is that they are going to, if you've enrolled one person, it's kind of like putting you higher on the list to be able to get a founder's box. So one big piece of advice, if you haven't enrolled somebody yet, is just remember that it is $0 pre-enrolled somebody. It's $0 to sign up to run this business, which is mind-blowing in this type of industry. And it's zero monthly fee. Like when you're talking to somebody and maybe you want to get your first enrollment and get yourself maybe higher on the list if you haven't got the box yet, go to your best friend, your sibling, your parent, and be like, hey, can you pre-enroll with me? It costs $0. It costs zero monthly cost. Even if you don't activate your account, you just become one of my customers and you can try a product in the future. There's literally no commitment, which is absolutely incredible. But I want you to not just think about that to try to get your founder's box, but think about that in the fact of when you're inviting people to this. Yes, I've had a few people come over from Beachbody, a few people come over that have watched me over the past 14 and a half years build a business that never did Beachbody with me. But I have people that have come on board that have never done any sort of business like this before. And I reached out, we're doing this dream home build, and this guy, I watched him build his home. I connected with him over this past year. He built this incredible home, but he's like a really top, he leads a sales team for a real estate agency here in Idaho Falls, like has a great team, built this really beautiful home as well. And I just sent him a voice text. I was like, hey, dude, uh, I just talked to him about my house because he knows that we or possibly might be selling that. And I was like, hey, man, I don't know if this is for you or not, but I know you have a pretty great network and you talk with a lot of people. I was like, we're starting the world's first bioactive peptide company that's all natural, based off of science. I don't know if it's for you or not. So let me know if I can send you a video. And if it's not for you and you know somebody that's into health and wellness that's trying to earn some income, like I love referrals. And I sent him the stuff and he's like, dude, my wife is big into health and fitness. I don't know how much time she has. And then I just responded with like, dude, it takes like no commitment. Like you don't have to pay an enrollment fee if you don't. Yes, there's a founder's box. And I sent him the script. So he already saw that and watched the videos. I was like, it's $0. There's literally nothing for you to lose to do it. And then when you're out having conversations, you can, talk about this business. So remember to do that. Okay. Another piece of advice I want to give you guys is wait, I don't know where to start. I could go like an hour and a half, but I promised my wife I'd be like only a half hour. So I'll hang out with her tonight. Like I've worked, just so you guys know, if you see someone on this team that's recruiting more heavily than you are, you're not behind. I started my Beachbody business 6 years before after the company launched. So you are not behind. So remember that. Also, you have to remember if you see me recruiting heavily or somebody else, I have 15 years of consistently adding value on Facebook. Like literally, I have like 3,000 videos on YouTube because every day I just pop on and I share a little bit of stuff. And I'll teach you and we'll teach you how to use your social media, how to add value, how to attract clients, how to reach out. We'll do that. You can lean into the team. But remember, there's other people that have done more of that, laid more of that groundwork and trust prior. So never judge yourself against somebody else. Just decide what you want to do moving forward with your business and having full confidence of, it's literally a zero enrollment fee if they don't want to get the founders pack, and zero monthly fee, zero required amount of purchases to earn and to build your team. Like that's unheard of. Most of network marketing or multi-level marketing companies get a bad rep and name because it's like, you have to order this much product to stay active and all of these different things. We don't have any of that. So we're really a modern affiliate plan where you can earn good income as an affiliate, bringing on customers and affiliates. And then there's a back-end compensation plan, which you guys have seen. So have confidence in inviting that. A couple of things that I'm doing is using my social media to create interest. So I've been doing it every day on my stories. Like, your energy and your excitement is what's going to attract people. And one thing that I want you guys to know is, in your hometown, each of you guys are in your hometown talking to people at football games, soccer games, in the PTO, wherever you're at. Like, you and I, let me just say Renee or Holly, you and I, let's say we're in the same town, without social media, could go to a school carnival where our kids are at, and we could present the same opportunity, the same excitement, be like, dude, I found this, I'm using this product. We're not using them yet, but we're going to be building on this, right? I'm using this. I love this. I found out that I could earn some extra income. It's literally risk-free. You don't have to pay any monthly fees. You can use the products, you can share them. Like, I'm so excited, whatever your story is. And you could tell somebody, you could do that and I could do that. And no one's going to know whether I've enrolled 120 people or you've enrolled one. Nobody's going to know that from the outside. It's all about your poise, your confidence in what you're going to do. And I want you guys to be fully confident. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but over the past 14 and a half years, no one on this call right now was on my Beachbody team. So this is a cool example. I built a team of 45,000 people, and we did over $1.1 million in sales a week with our entire team, right? So I built up all of that success over the time. But I want you guys to know, I started with 223 friends on Facebook, and I had no experience with social media, but I was excited about the program. Like, I was excited about what I was doing, and people were on board with that excitement. And they had to invest like a $40 enrollment fee. Then they had to buy their product. Then they had to pay $15.95 a month. This is so much different. So I want you guys to have confidence in that journey. And I just remember, as I got started, a couple of pieces of advice: be consistent on your social media. We'll do social media trainings in the page, but I built that team that I mentioned to you. But the thing that's mind-blowing to me is, I want you guys to know, I'm one of the least organized people ever. I am horrible. My weakness is scheduling, planning, executing on a schedule. Horrible. It's my weakness. But I'm really excellent at teaching mindset, habits, routines, sales. I'm good at those things, vision. And so I grew my business like that. And we were scattered all the time on, like, literally we'd be like, oh, 2 hours from now, it's kind of like this meeting right now. This is like, I wanted to celebrate today, but it'd be like, hey, tonight we're going to do a Q&A, or tonight I'm going to teach you 5 questions to ask yourself daily to take yourself to the next level. And it would be like last minute, like, hey, in 2 hours, we're doing a team meeting tonight. I would, like, all of the resources, like, we didn't have sharing tools like we have right now, or scripts. I didn't teach my team scripts, sharing tools. We just literally, as I've been in this for like 14 days now today, we winged it and built that team. We literally winged it with my passion and energy and massive consistency. So I believe we can take this to, like, I literally believe we can do 5, 10 times. Me personally, when I'm talking about my goals, you guys get to determine your goals. I believe we can take this to 5 to 10 times greater than what I did in the last company, because it's like, we're collaborating. Like, you guys won't know these names, but I'm with my former sponsor in our other company, and about 5 of the other top leaders. One of them was the top leader last year in the company, and we're all in the same team. And like, literally, when I got on the phone with my mentor, like Thursday night, when I enrolled, I was like, I want to do this different. I was like, I suck at organization, at creating scripts and resources and pretty images to do celebration posts on advancements. I was like, I'm good at this, this, and this. And she's like, okay, everybody is saying that. We are going to collaborate as a team, and we're going to share the workload. Like, whoever's like the leader that are organized at team calls and so forth are going to be like scheduling that. So we're going to have a cadence of team calls, team trainings, very organized tools, always updated scripts for inviting, and all of those tools inside of the team page. It's all going to be, we're going to try to get all of us. I know our upline, just so you know, above my upline, Lindsay Matway, is the Kempers. They were mentioned on the call tonight. Jordan Kemper that said the prayer that he was talking about when they had their meeting. He's the upline of Lindsay, just so that you guys know. They have a team page. You guys can be in that, but my real goal is that we're all under Lindsay Matway's. I don't really want to go start a team page, because then I just have to be at Jordan and Kristen's page, Lindsay's page, and then try to communicate the same thing down the line, and it gets diluted as it goes down the line. So we all want to work together under Lindsay Matway's line with like some incredible leaders. You'll get to know their names. They were on the call that we did yesterday morning. Was it yesterday? I get lost with the time, but we're going to work together. There's going to be a consistency of team calls, the same times, opportunity calls. They're going to have all the tools and graphics as they come out, or super organized, and documents and files in the team page. So what I want you guys to understand about that is to have full confidence inviting into this business opportunity, knowing that you don't, because I know because I've mentored people for 15 years. They might be like, I'm scared to bring someone in because I don't know how to lead them. I don't know how to help them take the next steps. Have full confidence in knowing that you can bring them in, plug them into the team page. You loving them as a human, connect with them one-on-one when they ask you questions, but direct them into the team page where we're all learning and growing together. And you can have confidence knowing you don't have to know everything. Like, all of the tools and resources are there, and empower and equip your partners. And this is me empowering and equipping you guys as well to ask questions in there, to be engaged, to be proactive, if you see someone, that's why, in my chat thread, someone might ask a question like, hey, I'm not seeing this, or where do I find this? I'm like, I've been answering them, but I'm like, hey, I want you to ask that in the group page, because more often than not, someone's going to have that same question. And then it'll help more people versus me just helping 100 people one at a time. We can help each other. And the more that, let's say Renee pops in, Preston asks the question, Renee answers it, that grows Renee's confidence in talking about the ingredients or sharing about where to find the team calls. And that rings true for each and every one of you guys. So be that person that's proactive to learn, to answer questions, because the more you answer questions and teach others, the more confident you'll be in inviting your prospects. Does that make sense? Okay, so 2 things, then you guys can ask any questions. 2 things that we really need to be focusing on heavily right now is we're as a team, we're still in launch mode. Like, the official launch of the company isn't until March. It's going to be a big launch event that you can go to in Texas. It'll be like if you were in Beachbody before, it's like our summit where everybody goes and celebrates. There's going to be a big launch event in Texas. So we literally have 3 more months, 2.5 more months in this year, and then a couple more months until the official launch of the company. But we're really going to focus on this last quarter of the year as like our team's launch, where we're continually inviting to be affiliates with us, plugging them in, getting them bringing on affiliates. And then obviously those of you who got founders boxes will be getting your product. We're going to start collecting testimonials of the products that we can start to share. And the cool thing, remember, we're all working together under the team page, under Lindsay Matway's team page, where those are going to be compiled, organized. And one thing that I want you guys to know is, like, you don't have to have your own testimonial to share this business. You guys have been recruiting even without using the product, which is crazy and incredible. But as we get started, you'll have the ability to use those testimonials in your stories from other people in this team and in Lindsay's team and this entire team. So lean on those resources, share other people's stories. One of the biggest things I did with my former company with Beachbody is, like, whenever I saw a transformation, whether it was with Beachbody, someone else helped them with the transformation, or it was even somebody that was just doing CrossFit, I always reach out to them and say, hey, I'm always trying to help people with health and fitness. Would you mind telling me what you did to get results? And if it would be okay if I shared your story on my social media. And if they gave me permission, I would share it. And I was never like, obviously you have to be honest and truthful and integrous in everything that you do. So I'd be like, hey, this is one of my friends I met on social media that lost 50 pounds with this product or this program. Like, I love seeing people work on their health and fitness. This is the type of work that I do if you're needing help with fitness. And the same thing if someone did CrossFit and lost weight, even though I was doing Beachbody, I do the same thing. This is my friend I met. They do CrossFit. They worked on their nutrition. had these incredible results. If you don't know where to start, or you can't get to a CrossFit gym, or you want to start on something simple and basic, here's what I have, right? So I was just continually sharing stories from others. So what we need to do is we need to get, there'll be social media trainings from social media experts in our team pages. Those cadence of calls will be starting up. You'll see them in the team page. Is we need to get consistent on our social media, adding value. The main thing that I do every single day, I'll give you my social media advice, is every single, without missing, I post on social media every single day. It could even be a motivation. If you don't have anything on your mind that you want to share, it could literally be your favorite quote with a picture of the sunrise. It could be your favorite quote with a picture of you and your kid at their football game, or whatever it is. And your favorite quote, be like, hey, I was reading in this book and this really reached me, right? This really touched me. I saw this post. And you're just starting to get more present on social media so people can see you. The biggest thing that I do is every single day I'm reading my personal development book. You can see them all behind me here, so I won't go grab the one I'm reading, but I'm reading one called Money Mastery, because I lost my job the other day and I was like, I need to, but aside from do this, I need to get my stuff more in order and know how to make more income outside of what I'm doing here. So one thing that I do is every day, and I'm jumping. Okay, every day I read personal development at least 15 minutes. My post every day, if you're like, people are always like, oh, I loved what you said, or I needed to hear that today. So did I. Literally every day. I just take what I learned in my social media and I teach it in my own words. Sometimes quote a paragraph or a sentence that I like, and then teach in my own words how it applies to my life, to growing a business, to being a dad, to being a leader. So if you need help getting consistent on your social media, that's my biggest advice. You're going to need to read personal development every day to grow yourself, to build this business. So just teach what you're learning in your personal development book. You're going to add value to people. They're going to start to look at you as a role model. That's my number one piece of advice for that. So get consistent on your social media. You need to be talking about the business because that's
I'll make it right now.
People that want to do the business. And then secondly, outside of that, you need to get into people's inboxes. You can't just make a post and hope that people flock to you, jump into your inbox. It doesn't happen. Like I had some of that happen, and I've seen some of you make posts and people are like, they comment info or I'm interested. That happens. Yes, no posting and praying. You have to get into the inbox. So with my former company, I brought on 5 new partners or customers every single month for 169 months without ever missing. I brought on 5 new people every month for 169 months without ever missing. It was my goal. I was like, I'm never going to fail on that goal, because that's something I can control in my business, is how many people I bring in personally. And so the only way I did that is I figured out my numbers of how many people I need to talk to. And I started 10 new conversations every single day. And we'll do social media trainings on how to meet people, how to approach on social media and all that. But you know, I stopped getting people saying info and comment and make on my post. I don't just like leave it at that and hope that more people come. Like I've been getting in people's inbox, like my friend Austin. I was like, hey, bro, that does the real estate. I was like, hey, dude, I don't know if this is for you or not, but I know you got a great network. If it's not for you, maybe you know someone it is for, but we're launching world's first bioactive peptide company made out of nature and science. It's a blue ocean product. I'm super, super excited about it. If I sent you a video, would you watch it? And he's like, sure, bro, I'll watch it. And he watched, he's like, oh, my wife's super into health and wellness. So I didn't wait for him to comment on my post. I proactively went out and reached to him. So some of you guys have 300 friends on Facebook, 1,000 friends on Facebook. You just need to go through them, whether it's 10 people at a time, 15 people at a time. I would do at least 10. Like you get to decide how much you want to do with this business. But with my former business, I saw if I reached out to 10 people a day, I could at least recruit 5 to 10 people a month. And so I just stayed consistent in that. So don't post and pray. You have to get into the inboxes and have conversations. The cool thing is on the back end of that, you have to be posting on social media, because Christina or Holly, you might send that invite and they're like, or that message on social media, they don't answer maybe. That's cool, but they might come to see your Facebook page and be like, what are they up to? And if they see you like sharing and talking about things, they can be like, oh, okay. And I've even seen, maybe they don't respond, but they start silently stalking you. In my last company, I had a girl from my hometown that was $1 million earner, which means she earned $1 million in commissions. She brought on someone and they earned $1 million in commissions as well. in their business. And the cool thing about that, my friends, is she never responded to my message. Never. She proactively watched what I did, watched all the testimonials, studied what I was doing. She even went and bought the product, brought the workout programs, and she did them on her own, got a testimonial without ever telling me. Like, she literally went to the company and bought it without me. She got assigned as a lead to that company because that's how it worked. And then when she had her own transformation, she was having trouble losing weight. Our solution helped her lose weight. She messaged me out of the blue. I remember being at my 12-hour shift on a lunch break. She sent me a message. She's like, hey, this is going to sound weird. I've been stalking you for 3 months. I ignored your first message, but I bought Shakeology. Sorry, I didn't buy it from you, like an emoji. And she's like, I got incredible results. I lost 30 pounds. My husband lost 50. I'm ready to do what you do. Tell me what to do and I'll do it. So don't be discouraged when you send invites and they're not responding. People are going to be watching you, but you have to invite, okay? You have to get in the inbox. So those are 2 main things. Consistent on social media right now, 10 conversations a day. Just joining me is not going to make you successful. You have to have the conversations. Here's the other big thing that I'm seeing. I'm having conversations. I had one of them's on here, my neighbor, Eric. He already knew about this before me. Right. And he's literally my neighbor. Luckily, he came over with us. We get to work together because we worked separately as Beachbody coaches, but we're together now and we're neighbors, which is awesome. But I had a conversation with, I reached out to one of my former partners that's not going to do this business. He had a leader and I reached out to him and he's like, yeah, dude, I want to do it. And he's like, oh, wait a minute. My wife's already enrolled with her best friend, who's in her best friend's a lineman, and their whole group of linemen are like, they work on big electric pole lines. He's like, they're like, that whole group of men's already invited. So she's already with her husband and the wives are already enrolled. So, and I was like, dude, you need to be with that group because that's your wife and that's your friend group at home. So you need to go do that. But I share that with you because you need to get the word out, whether they join you or not now. Maybe they see it on social media from someone that has a big influence, that gets a big reach on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook. But if you've been in their inbox and you're their friend and they see that, they're going to be like, they're going to be like, oh, my friend Eric is doing that. And they'll more likely come to you because they know you and trust you. So they might be intrigued by it from somebody else that might have a big influence, but they're going to come to you if they know you do it. But if you're quiet and you're not talking about it and you're not getting inboxes, they won't know. So you must get in people's ears that this is what you do. This is your thing. So when they hear about it, they come to you. Okay. I said I was like going to let you guys do lots of questions. So you guys ask any question. Anybody on mute, ask any questions. I can do we can go 15 more minutes or so. I'm looking at the chat. Anybody? Don't be shy.
I'll say something, Scotty.
Yeah,
So I've been part of a lot of pre-launches in my career, over 20 years in direct sales, you guys. Today, the technology and stuff went as I expected, and I'm excited to see all the faces here that I've been talking to in the chats. We're making history. I know that we're all put on this path together to change lives, starting with our own first. And we're going to do some awesome things here. I'm so excited that the universe collided and brought all of my favorite people from Body over here, and we're gonna change the world, really, because this is gonna be a global brand. So buckle up for the ride. I know pre-launch companies take 3 years to build. So you're here for it. You might as well work hard and see where it takes you.
absolutely. Ask yourself, why not me? Like, my friends, I was someone who was super lost, overweight, unhappy, working 12-hour days, but I had a dream in my life. You guys don't know this because you've never been on a team call with me, but from my previous company. But when I was working there, it was about 2010. I'm a hard worker. I was doing 3 people's jobs, working 12 hours a day for 5 years. So I have work ethic in me. So like things don't just happen to me. I make them happen. Like I'm willing to do whatever it takes to learn, grow, make things happen. But I remember scribbling. I was running the service department, writing the manuals and doing the shipping department. And I remember scribbling on a notepad because I would take the service calls and that's where I would like write the work order and send it out to the shop. I remember writing, it's crazy to think, I am retired at the age of 50. My house is paid off. I have $1 million in the bank and I'm just enjoying my life with my wife. I wrote that vision out before I ever knew about the opportunity to do this type of business. A year later, that business came into my life. And I'm going to share something a little bit, maybe spiritual with you guys, but I was super lost before I met my wife. Like I was alcoholic. I got into drugs. I was playing music. And someone reached out to me as a friend. He was the same religion as me. We met randomly at a gym. And he's like, dude, you're better than this. He actually found me unconscious outside of a gas station. He brought me to his home. His wife's like, what are you doing bringing this homeless kid over to the house? He gave me a shirt. He cooked me some Venezuelan food, which was amazing. And he was my friend. And that completely started to shift the direction of my life. I moved out of the house I lived in. You can imagine what type of house that was in that situation. I got some new friends. I remember moving into an apartment with one of my friends. I played music. And I remember sitting at a hamburger joint on the corner right across from our apartments. And I was like, his name was Boris. We were roommates. We moved away from that. He was in that life too. And we're like, we're going to be different. Like a friend told me I could do better. I told him we can do better. And I was like, dude, and it's kind of funny. There was a pretty waitress in this hamburger joint. And I was like, dude, I'm going to meet my wife here. 3 months later, I met my wife. I met my wife at a rock show at Warped Tour in 2005. And she helped me continue to change my life. But even after we got married, I was still in a lot of chaos and trouble. And I didn't go to church. And like, I was just lost. A complete stranger knocked on my door. He was from the church that we're at. And by the way, I belong to the same church that Truman Hunt belongs to and Justin Prince. Truman was on that call today. And so I was a part of that church, but I was inactive for like 8 years. And this guy knocks on my door. He came from the church to invite me back to church. I didn't know that, but he had a plate of brownies. So I let him in. And he just was a friend to me. He had kids like me, the same age as mine. And I just remember he was jacked and fit and healthy. And I was like, I need some help. What do you do? He invited me to come. He trained the high school kids in the gym. He was the football coach. He's like, come train with us. And I was like, dude, I wish I could. I go to work at 5. He went to work at 6, or they trained at 6. And he's like, you should do this workout program. So a series of events happened. I started going to church. I started getting help. I started changing my habits in my life. I started paying tithing. I had to refinance my mortgage because I couldn't pay my tithing, I felt like, and pay my mortgage. So I refinanced my mortgage. I started paying my tithing. And that was in October of 2010. In April of 2011, like 6 months later, I started that last business, and my life completely changed. And it was because a couple people reached out to me. They didn't try to sell me anything. They were my friend. And so, yes, you want them to come on board, but be friends with people, reach out, make connections, network with people. They're going to see the light that you have in you doing this business, and they're going to see you growing, expanding, and they're going to want to be a part of that with you. So be authentic in this journey. We're not here to be icky salesperson that only sells scripts. Like, be real with people, but the system works. Like, I'm going to share with something in my past company. Every prospect that I had to be a partner with me, I got on a phone call and they lasted 45 minutes to an hour, and it took a lot of time out of my day. And guess what? Sometimes they joined, half the times they didn't. I could close about 50% when I got on a phone call, but it took an hour of my day. Sometimes they joined and never did a single thing with the business. Never did one single thing. And it was hours and hours and hours of phone calls. Guys, obviously consistency, and I've been doing consistent on social media for a long time. And I'll tell you guys, I know you guys have full-time jobs, family. I'm so grateful I went on that cruise, and my wife supports me in building this business. I worked 10 to 12 hours a day for the past 14 days without stopping. I want you guys to know that. So if you're like, how did you do that? Like, I literally worked till 3 a.m. every day on the ship. Every day on the ship, I went to breakfast with my wife, and then I worked from like 11 to 3, and then I shut it off from 3 to 10 p.m. and I was just present with her. And then I worked 11 p.m. in that cruise ship until 3 a.m. And I'm not saying you have to do that, but I'm like, I lost my whole income. So I'm like, I have to make this work. So whatever level, you get to choose what you want to do with it. So I say that so you don't like judge yourself against me or somebody else. Like I am like working harder than anybody that I know. And my wife was put a post on Instagram about that, like showed me on the on the balcony, just like on my phone. I was just going to work. But the thing I want to share with you that out of the, I think I have maybe 110 people pre-enrolled. I did one prospect call, one, and it was fifth. I told he had a couple of small questions. I made sure he watched all the videos first. I was like, hey man, I can't get on the phone with you. Super busy doing this launch. What questions do you have? I'd send him the ingredient list. I'd send him the trials. And he's like, I'm ready to roll, but I just need 15 minutes. And I was like, and I was in the airport. I was like, I'll give you 15 minutes. And he was someone that did really successful in ClickFunnels. He has his own fitness brand, 50,000 followers. He has 3 coaches where they train health and fitness, and they've been looking for a peptide company to put into their program. And so I was like, this is a big fish. So I'm going to do my 15-minute call. So if you do need to do a call, just make it super simple, like super short, like limit yourself. But my goal is to just, and to give you guys confidence, like I enrolled all those people without one phone call, without getting on the phone, trying to explain everything, just using those third-party tools to invite. Okay. That's going to give you guys more time to be with your family. So trust in those tools. They're working. You guys are all here if you are personally enrolled by me with just the tools, right? So the same thing's going to be working for you guys. And then remember, you guys joined right away, the majority of you. One thing I always taught before, use the tools, but it might take 3 months, 6 months, 9 months for them to enroll. But the important thing is that you plant the seed. So they know who to come to. They can watch you on social media. They can watch you grow. They can watch you advance. They can watch you get a transformation. They can watch you earn your first $500 back and celebrate that you earned your investment back. And they're going to be like, okay, I'm ready. Like, okay, let's do this. This is working. Okay. Anyhow, anybody got another question? 90 days. I love that. Takes 90 days to hit my momentum phase. Excellent. Okay.
Hey, Scotty.
What's up, Bergen?
Hey, man. So, dude, I'm so excited. This is so different. I mean, the
So
simplicity is finally some simplicity. So, one thing I wanted to ask, because you mentioned like, really working with Lindsay and kind of the upper coaches, if you will. So I know that I've talked a bunch to Nathan DeTracy and his wife prior to switching, right?
Yeah.
And so they're putting together a lot of kind of unique and that's what I'm unique, like concepts of how to bring people in. Think about challenge groups, right? So very similar type of initiatives where you drive interest into a certain genre of people, if you will. And so I was curious, does Lindsay mention any of that, or is it right now it's just like, hey, let's just, as many invites as possible and worry about system type of stuff later?
That's a great question. So I'm leading a Spanish led team where they're on WhatsApp and they're talking. But I created, and some of you guys are in it, but I created a free info group. So you can always do something like that, or we can do something like that as a smaller team to create interest, where I just like shared one video. Like I just pre-scheduled it. I shared like the first video from Justin Prince, and then later that day I put in the comp plan video, and then later I put the ingredient list, and then later I put the science from the guy that created the science of it. I put a video. I put the recording from the 1.5-hour Zoom we did with Lindsay in there, and I just pre-scheduled posts in there, and we did kind of an info session group. So that's one option that you guys can do, or we can do. And I think a real powerful thing too is you guys have already been talking together, like collaborate. Like it could be like Renee and Eric and whoever can be like, hey, I want to host and lead a group, the info group for the next 2 weeks. And you put that together, invite everyone in our chat thread, like, hey, we're going to host this group. If you want to invite people into it, we could do that. So that's an option. The main thing that I'm doing personally, and any of you guys are welcome to do, is I've been running health and fitness groups for 15 years. I ran a group for a year before I even joined my last company. and I help people whether they bought from me or not. And so it's just part of who I am. Like I have to work out every day. Like I paused today and I did the most epic chest and back workout. It's part of my routine. And I want it to be part of your routine too, whether you do CrossFit, run, jog, you do body workouts, or you just do your own stuff off of YouTube. Working out is going to help you become a high performer, release positive endorphins. And our company is a health and wellness company. You can't just take supplements and expect to lose weight and be healthy. You have to work out, eat healthy, and supplements can help, right? So my goal is prior to everything that happened 2 weeks ago, I created a Finish Strong group for 3 months where I'm just helping people finish the year strong with their health and fitness goals. And obviously I was like recruiting to it in my former company to come buy certain products and workouts. But I've decided as this shift began to happen, I was like, anybody's welcome into this group. So I'm running just a community. You guys can run your own. You can come into mine, whatever you want. I'm running a community that it was a 3-month. I'm just going to transition into an open, ongoing community. It's private, so someone has to be invited in there. And it can be a place where you can invite people in if you want. There'll be no product pitching or anything like that. And one important thing is that if you bring people in, you make sure that you always honor like if someone reaches out to you and they're brought in by someone else, that you refer them back to the person that brought them in there. But I'm just creating an ongoing fitness community for health, wellness, everything about that. I'm not going to spend a ton of time in it. Like I'll come in, I'll share some of my thoughts from my workout, maybe a selfie or a little workout clip or a piece of advice on nutrition and personal development. And it's just a place where I can invite people in that are interested perhaps in health and wellness, and they're going to see all of this community working out. I mean, you can share your supplements in there. You know, if you're drinking you're energized or you're hydrated, people can see that type of stuff, start to ask questions, and it could be a place for them to get exposure to our products as well. So that's kind of my plan. You can build your own community. Like, let's say, Renee, you want to, you know, as you bring on your people, you can just create you as the leader of your team. We have the cadence with Lindsay Matway of the team calls and trainings to run and operate the business. But you individually as a leader of the people that you bring in could have some sort of fitness community where you're going live, teaching mindset, teaching habits, teaching whatever. And it could be a place for, let's say you have a couple of your new affiliates that join you, and they're maybe timid and shy in their invites at the beginning, or people aren't responding, or you could be like, hey, just bring them into our free fitness community, whatever that's called. And then they can see you and the person that brought them in and be more involved in the community and get connected that way. So, and each one of you guys could do something like that as well. So I hope that answers your question. That's kind of what I'm feeling.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I think that's what Nathan's doing. They've really, I mean, they've been at it for 2.5 months longer than us, right?
Yeah.
So, and they've been formulating stuff behind the scenes on how to propel as product becomes available to customers. How do we launch that? Because we know that we're going to go into November and December, and we want to be a catalyst into getting people into the routines of using the peptides, as well as continuing into the new year for better health, right? And so they're thinking, okay, we're going to do 8 weeks of work. Well, where did that come from, right? So we're going to do 8 weeks of the work, and then after that, what's the next 12 weeks going to look like marching into 2025 type of thing?
Yeah.
And so kind of a plan of action and think forward. Everybody's going to have to kind of do it for themselves, but I know that Nathan DeTracy and friends on his team are trying to build something in a community, kind of like what you created, in a community that everybody invites. We march to the same cadence.
Yes.
Over a course of 8 weeks, and then maybe a follow-on of 12 weeks or whatever the supplement regimen might be.
Yeah. So that's basically what we're going to be doing in Lindsay Matway's downline. We have extremely organized people who are really good at calendaring and preparing for launches. And here's what you need to do up to the launch. Here's what you're doing during this week. Here's what you're talking about during this week. Here's what we're focusing on. And they're going like that. Those whole cadence of trainings, like I was on a call with them this morning for 1.5 hours, And there's some of the very top partners in Body, like Moira Kusaba. For those of you who know Beachbody, like Moira Kusaba, Christina Delgado, Lindsay Matway, myself, and a whole lot more that you're going to recognize. Tanya, the Machine Baron from Insanity, like those are some of the top leaders. We've already scheduled out two solid weeks already right now of who's teaching on what day. And they're putting together a cadence of this is what we're marketing for. And the trainings are not going to be like hop on and do Q&A like we're doing here. It's like we're talking about this is how you launch this. This is what to expect next. And it's a whole cadence that you can plug into. And we can all be on that same flow and that same rhythm and that same messaging. Because when we do that, we're going to create more synergy. Just like you saw with this launch, everybody was on the same flow and synergy of, hey, we're about to launch this company. And everybody was talking about the very same thing, and it created a big sense of excitement, and then people were excited about it, right? So that's what we're doing in that group. That's the whole purpose of that group. And then the topics that we're going to be training on, they already assigned all the topics, who's speaking on what days, and that will all be organized inside of that group. So one of my main jobs over the next couple of days is making sure you guys get in there. But we need you guys to just take proactive action to make sure you're into that group. So I'll drop that group if you're not in there again to into the chat thread. When I send my script right now, just so you guys are aware, on the where is it? Oh, I need to been using my phone. Oh, it's not loading up. Okay, when I'm sending the script, that is once they enroll, you send welcome to the team. It has the Flowdesk thing that they can get the Boards app. At the bottom of that, I have the link to the Facebook group. Like, make sure that you join this team page right here. So maybe just add that as you enroll people, that you add that to your welcome email to a new affiliate, so they get plugged into that, because that's the team page. That's the team Facebook group where we're going to be working together in cadence, in training, in marketing. And we have incredible marketing geniuses that are already planning out what we're going to talk about, how to talk about it. So make sure you get your people into that, and that'll be a huge thing. Okay. Awesome. Well, I need to honor my wife saying that I would get off for the night and go hang out with her. But the way I'm feeling when she goes to bed at 12, I might be up another hour. Okay. This is recorded, in case you have you learned something here that you could teach somebody else as they're brand new and come on. Just ask for it. It'll be unlisted on my YouTube channel. Okay. We'll see you guys later. And we're doing this.